Hello, Amador County. I'm Tom Slivick. Welcome to TSPN's News for today. It's Wednesday, and we're going to have our supervisor report from yesterday's meeting at the Board of Supervisors, and Supervisor John Plasse will be giving the report. So take it away.
Heather, good morning, Amador. This is Supervisor John Plasse, District 1, here to give you the Board of Supervisors update from yesterday's meeting, December 4th, 2012. We started off with a very joyous event in which we honored the service of Miss Becky Podesta. Becky has been an employee of Amador County for, I believe, 33 years. She has served in both the auditor's office and the assessor's office. Wife of Butch Podesta here locally in the Jackson-Clinton Road area, and also is looking forward to spending a lot of time with a couple grandbabies she wishes to spoil a little more, and doing some quilting and so forth. So Becky was honored with quite an attendance of fellow county employees to say goodbye and congratulations on her retirement. That was the first item of our board meeting yesterday. Next up came an appeal refund discussion. Mr. Eldon Waite had filed an appeal on a planning commission decision some time back, and that typically requires that you pay a fee to file an appeal. Mr. Waite had brought additional information to the attention of both the county and the city of Plymouth regarding the ownership of the Arroyo ditch that runs through the Plymouth area and out through the Latrobe area. And as a result, the board agreed to reverse the decision of the Planning Commission or request that Mr. Eldon Waite and the applicant of Serafina Wineries out there work out an agreement with the City of Plymouth, who actually is the owner of that ditch and water conveyance system. So the board agreed to refund Mr. Waite's appeal fee in respect for the information that he brought forward and the fact that we did choose to agree with his position on the matter. So that was second up. Next, we came up with a discussion for funding for APAL and their low-income spay and neuter program. As many of you know, APAL is the organization for the humane treatment of animals here locally in Amador County, and has a host of volunteers and fundraising efforts to further their efforts, and we commend them for all that they do there. This is a program that is administered through APAL that has been county funded, or at least mostly county funded, for the last 5 years or so, somewhere in the range between $12,000 and $15,000 a year, goes to pay for the spay and or neuter veterinary costs for low-income people with pets that can't otherwise pay that cost. The discussion back in May, when we were discussing the budget, was surrounded whether this was in fact a county function or a taxpayer expectation to fund a program like this, and that discussion continued into yesterday's hearing. It was originally budgeted for $5,000 contribution to this spay and neuter program in this year's budget due to our very constrained finances. However, the discussion yesterday revolved around whether or not it was a taxpayer function to pay for veterinary services for low-income people, or if it was truly a benefit to the county in the form of lessening the costs that we would incur at our animal control shelter. I was on the losing end of that discussion, and the board agreed on a 4-to-1 vote to finance APAL double the amount that was budgeted in May to a total amount of $10,000 for that low-income spay-neuter program. Next, we heard a discussion regarding our Veteran Services Officer. He is retiring. Mr. Floyd Martin, after a number of years with Amador County, is retiring. Supervisor Novelli and Forster are appointed to a committee to screen and interview the applicants for that position. We do wish to refill that position in honor of the service of our veterans here in Amador County, and we will be advertising for and hiring that position soon. Next was a discussion of the Measure M funds. As you recall, Measure M is the additional sales tax measure that funds our paid firefighters here in Amador County. Simple discussion about the formula that has been established in years past and the distribution of those funds. So it just requires more of a ministerial action on the part of the Board of Supervisors to authorize the distribution of the funds for 2012. Next, we had to certify the consolidated general election results here in Amador County. Our elections department brought forward that. A few points of note: we had an 83% turnout in Amador County. We've got overall lower costs for the election and voters. In fact, the general election in 2008 cost us about $130,000, and this year's general election cost us $95,000. So kudos to the elections department for helping to lower those costs. We also had a resolution to appoint members to the Consolidated Solid Waste Independent Hearing Panel. This is a function we're required to perform by the state of California Public Resources Code, and we appointed 3 members to that. Approved our upcoming supervisors meeting schedule, which will remain at an every other week schedule through the year of 2013, with the exception of December. And lastly, a couple of items revolving the Central Sierra Economic Development District. We tabled those items to get further information on the overall benefits of continuing to be a member of that organization. Thank you for staying with me this morning, Amador County, and we will cut to break and be back shortly thereafter. Thank you.
Okay, welcome back. We're going to take a look at our weather for today, and I believe it's already raining out there. Most of the blue looks like it's past us, but we have rain with a high of 57, a low of 47, wind southeast 9 miles an hour, and on Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 58, low of 41, wind out of the west at 6 miles an hour. On Friday, mostly sunny, high of 57, low of 40. Air quality index report: ozone levels will be moderate today at 62 and moderate Thursday at 60. Remember, you can burn, but you need to call the burn hotline at 223-6246 to make sure it's a burn day. We're going to be taking our break, and when we come back, I'll be with Ruthella Turner, and she's the Upcountry Center Coordinator and up in Pine Grove. So stay with us, and we'll have that interview when we return from the other side of the break. You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.